The mirror of the altar. The smoke rose from one side of the field, but the air remained cold on the other. Two brothers stood before the same horizon, offering the work of their hands to the Silent One. One heart was an open gate, the other was a fortress. The silence that followed was not an absence of God, but a revelation of what was already hidden within the men. By faith, Abel offered to God a more acceptable sacrifice than Cain, through which he was commended as righteous, God commending him by accepting his gifts. Hebrews 11:6. Cain brought the produce of the ground, while Abel brought the firstborn of his flock and their fat portions. On the surface, it appeared to be a simple difference in profession, a farmer versus a shepherd. But the ancient text suggests a deeper divide in the quality of their intent. In Hebrew, the word used for offering is mincha, a term often referring to a gift or tribute, sent to a superior to acknowledge their lordship. Abel's gift was the firstborn, the best, the primary, the portion that required trust in a future harvest. Cain's gift is described simply as the fruit of the ground, an offering that may have been merely an overflow of what he had already secured for himself. There is a subtle, chilling detail in God's warning to the angry brother. God describes sin as crouching at the door. The word for crouching is robetz, a term used for a predatory animal lying in wait at the threshold of a building. The altar was acting as a mirror. It wasn't that God was rejecting Cain's vegetables, that he was pointing to the predator Cain had allowed to settle at his own front door. We often approach our own altars with the leftovers of our lives, our remaining time, our spare energy, our secondary thoughts. We bring the produce because it is convenient, but we keep the firstborn for our own security. We then wonder why the atmosphere of our spiritual life feels heavy and unreceived. The rejection of the gift was actually a mercy to the man. It was an invitation for Cain to look at the crouching thing before it consumed him. God was more interested in Cain's repentance than his ritual, warning him that if he did what was right, he too would be accepted. Even after the tragedy in the field, the story does not end in total darkness. Cain became a restless wanderer, but God placed a mark on him to ensure his survival. It is the haunting paradox of the divine. God protects the very man who broke the peace, proving that even in the deepest judgment, there is a pulse of mercy. What are you currently offering to God? Is it the firstborn of your heart? Or just the leftovers of your day?